Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all are doing well. What's happening? Anything happening? Let's find out. So you're okay. I always got to remember that there are people that are going to come across this video on YouTube and that they're going to be like, okay, who's this guy? What's this? What's he talking about? Okay, this is going to be a full ecosystem presentation of the Gray's currencies, pTGC and UFO on the Pulse network. They're an index of the best tickers on the chain. They are, in my opinion, the best tickers on the chain. And we're going to walk through the beginning, from the beginning to the end on these things. And you can ask any questions that you want. You can reach out to me directly. If you watch this video, especially if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you can ask me any questions. Don't ask me questions in the YouTube in the YouTube comments, because that doesn't work for me. I never go in and look at those, like very, very rarely. I'm a bad boy when it comes to that. I don't keep up. Hey, Thomas, good to see you, man. You must be German. Let me see. No, not German. I don't think so. Let me know, dude. So this could be a full ecosystem. And why should you even be interested in the Gray's currencies? Because they're an index of the best tickers. We're going to get into that. But what we usually first, and by the way, PulseChain is it's a fork of Ethereum. It's a layer 1 forked by Richard Hart, the genius billionaire founder. Okay. Hex token that did a 10,000x. Its first cycle. PulseChain is going into its first cycle. Now is a great time, in my opinion, to get in onto the PulseChain. And these are the assets where you want to start. Start here and then go explore. Okay. All right, let's look at how these assets are doing today. Well, I was up at midnight and they were like flying again. We're in a pump zone. We're in the pump zone. It sounds like a kid's play park. I want to go visit. I want to take my kids there. We're in a pump phase. A good old fashioned, reminds me of the Hex days when Hex used to pump, and it will again. I'm not just saying. But I mean, things have been pumping, and the ratio. Let's see where are we at here. This is not the chart I wanted to look at. Usually, what I do, guys, is I start with Bitcoin, and that's really not exciting right now. It's 118,000. I mean, okay, is it exciting in the sense that it is in new time high territory? Absolutely. It's just not in new time high, and that's fine. All time high was about 123,000, and we're at 118. So there's still room to grow. Some think it's going to go to $240,000 per token. We'll see. We will see. I hope so. I do. I'm not bearish on Bitcoin or Ethereum. Bitcoin is losing its dominance. It's a good day when Banana is streaming. Thank you, Thomas. You're very kind. I appreciate that. Bitcoin, because okay, so this is Ethereum on the monthly. We're going to flip the chart to Bitcoin and see how Ethereum is performing against Bitcoin. Here's the bottom back in April 1st, and then it is up against Bitcoin just this month, and we're nearly to the end. It's up 32% against Bitcoin. Ethereum is. Yeah, man, that's getting exciting. We're in a bull run. Okay. Now let's look at WPLS. That's PLS. Okay, that's PulseChain. How's it doing? Well, it's not doing all that great. Why do I sound happy that it's not doing all that great? Because that means it has room to grow. And I think that I have the hunchies that some of this downward, sideways, poor performance is on purpose. And I want to think that because I want to see the contrast And this is why I think somebody might be doing it on purpose, or people. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist kind of person. So I'm like, okay, if it's going sideways, maybe it's being done so on purpose. And if it's done so on purpose, why would they do it? Well, so that when it corrects to the upside, it could look dramatic. And the contrast between what it has been doing for 2 years and what it is, we hope, is going to do soon. The difference could be the more dramatic, the more eyeballs it's going to garner, in my opinion. So yeah, PulseChain's not very impressive right now. Hey, backwards hat dad, good to see you. But I think it's going to impress. It bottomed out. Let's pull this back up. And we got to get cracking, man. I have a book to work on. It bottomed out at 4018, pretty much all down here, 4017. Okay. And then right now it's at 4032. PTDC. This is what we're really here for, guys, is PTGC. Rapid Bitcoin is almost 1,000. It's getting there. A little side note. PTGC. Pulse. The Grace currencies. It keeps getting somebody. I hear that somebody keeps dumping the tokens. Well, duh. It would only go up if people were only buying it. So yeah, people are going to sell along the way, and I have no issue with that. I really don't. Okay, so PTDC since the 22nd of June is up a good bit. Yeah, 145%. That's a good bit. Now, I want to draw your attention to this price over here. This is PTDC priced in WPLS. So if you flip the chart, I want to do this. Right now, the chart is in USD. And it's a good, let's move it to, let's make it the weekly. That's a good chart. That's a good looking chart in USD. We're going to flip it to WPLS and see how it has been performing against WPLS again on the weekly. And that's another, again, it's a good looking chart in WPLS. So why is it exciting that the chart looks good in WPLS? Because PLS has done nothing for the last 2 years. If anything, at best, it has gone sideways. At worst, it has gone down, and it literally figuratively has. I'm sounding like my teenage daughter. Literally, figuratively, has gone down for the last 2 years. Yet PTDC has performed against it. So that's why I'm drawing your attention to this token, and the same for UFO. Let's look at UFO. Let's do it. Let's draw UFO into the limelight. We will flip it to WPLS on the weekly, and there you have it. I mean, I wish the chart wouldn't do that funky thing, but it is how far away from its previous all-time high against WPLS. It's 124%. It has been, as high as 1.8, 1.7 something, 1.8. It's going back there again. UFO is undervalued, in my opinion. Okay, so you always want to flip the chart. That's a technique I learned when I came into the Grace. Everybody was saying, flip that chart and look at PTDC and how it's performing against PulseChain by, selecting WPLS, not USD. Okay, it took me a long while to get it, and now I understand it. And you can do that with any of the assets that PTDC is paired with. Hex, of course, Pulse, PulseX, Inc., PDI, Teddy Bear, Atropa, the list goes on. The best assets on the chain are being outperformed by PTDC. You may need to look at it on a longer time frame, and we're going to look at some slides that just compare the core assets. But zoom out on your charts, guys. Have a long-term vision when it comes to crypto, and then you'll win. The FOMO will be hard in UFO. I can't disagree with you, JP. I think the FOMO will be hard. I agree. UFO just kind of PTDC gets all the attention. UFO is just so simple. It has less moving parts. But when it starts creating green candles, it will force attention onto itself. You can get 5 times more UFO right now than you can PTDC. Just dollar for dollar, you get 5 times more tokens. Actually, we should confirm that in the calculator. And I've got it all set up, updated with prices. So we'll do that when we get to that point. Okay, so let's stay on task here. So that's the charts. Is there any news we need to talk about? I don't think there really is any news. I'm trying to think. Nah, no, it's just hold and wait. Stake, recycle. Let's look at my favorite chart in all of crypto. You guys know which one I'm about to show. It's the one that my buddy Slade made for me. And look how PTDC and UFO, the gold and blue, are performing against the core assets. The core assets are the ones down at the bottom. Now, I do want to mention that we love Richard Hart. We love his core assets. We earn a lot of those tokens. But the fact is we are outperforming them. And that's not to diss any of his assets. It's just a fact. And even if you look at the end of, the February and March timeframe, look back at December. Last fall, PTDC and UFO had a big run up, and then even into February and March, where we're running pretty good. And look how the core assets performed. Like any upward movement in those cores, Hex being the top one there, and it was off into the races for PTDC and UFO raised currencies. And then even all the way over onto the right, look how the cores are just kind of down and down and down. But PTDC and UFO are still, holding up. So what does that mean when core assets run? In my opinion, it means that PTDC and UFO they're going to just flat blow our minds. That's what I think. And I would bet money on it. I bet, okay, a million PTDC right now is about $550. And I would bet a million PTDC on it. I'd bet 2 million PTDC that we're going to absolutely the proverbial melt faces. We just need volume. Money maker Mish. Absolutely. We just need that volume. And it's coming, in my opinion. It is absolutely coming. Don't know it for sure. This is crypto. Crazy things happen. And crazy to the downside and to the upside. I'm here for the upside, but I won't be surprised I would be more surprised if it got crazy to the downside, actually, at this point. But we've endured a lot the last 4 years, and I think our time is coming. So PTDC and UFO are an index token, and what does that mean? What is an index token? You guys that have been here, you guys here that come every time I stream. You are troopers because you hear this every single time. This is literally, I don't know of any other ecosystem that walks through their tokens from beginning to end twice a week. I mean, literally, okay, if you're new, I don't want you to come into this ecosystem and be like, how do I hold these tokens? How do I make passive income with these tokens? I want you to come in and understand what you hold and how to hold it. And so you don't cheat, so you don't, whatever, wreck yourself. And there's no other, as far as I'm aware of, there's no other, maybe there are other ecosystems that are starting to do this, because I think we believe it's important that people come in and have a place to, when people come in, have a place to land where they can learn about their assets. And why am I doing this for the greatest currencies? There's no other asset on PulseChain that I'm more passionate about than the greatest currencies. That's why I'm doing it. That's why we do this. Okay. And Zen, the founder, will be on voice chat tomorrow and on Thursday. Yes, we do spaces twice a week because we want to interact with you guys, give you guys a place to ask your questions. 2 tokens to rule them all. JP, I'm going to beg to differ with you on that one. You say 10-cent PTDC this cycle. I think we're going beyond $1. I think we're going beyond $1. I hope we're going to be on the double. But yeah, dude. I mean, we are what? How many X's away are we from a penny right now? I'm going to cheat and look over here. Give me a second, guys. I'm looking at look into ptdc.com. You can look at this dashboard yourself. Look into ptgc.com and just go to the dashboard. We're 17x away from 1 penny. Hey, lemonade. You don't mind if I call you lemonade or lemonade? Got that from a movie. I can't get it out of my head. 2 tokens to rule them all. Yeah, we're 17x to it. Well, it might be 18x rounded up. I'm not sure, but 1 penny divided by today's price, 17 or 18x to a penny. What's that mean for 10 cents? 170 to 180x for 10 cents. 1,700 to 1,800 for $1. That's a big ask, but I do. Okay, so these tokens aren't indexed. Why do you want to hold an index token? Because it's one token that represents many other tokens, and it's like owning a piece of all of these other tokens. And here is a graphical representation of pTGC and UFO and their indexing of these tokens. In the outer ring are the tokens, many of the tokens that we're bonded with. There are more. All the core assets and other probabilistically probably accessible successful assets on the PulseChain, like Teddy Bear, for example. What are some other ones like a Tropa, the Solid X? You know, we're bonded with all these tokens, and when you hold PTDC or UFO, you hold a piece of those tokens. By the way, PTDC and UFO are bonded most thickly with each other. And so they're going to move up with all of these other assets, and they're going to move up with each other, to varying degrees. I'm going to show you, look into ptdc.com here in just a second, and I'm going to show you some of our liquidity pairs. But before I do that, I wanted to just explain that, for example, okay, we're talking about index tokens. I think I can remove that from my screen. We're talking about index tokens. You're like, why should I be interested in an index token? Because, like I said, by holding one, you can hold many. Just a piece of them, right? And we're bonded with the best on the chain. We don't mess around. We got a DAO that can control what we're bonded with, and we buy and burn tokens. We're going to get into all that. But we're bonded with the best tokens on the chain, so we're an index. I'm repeating myself. repeatedly repeating. I was going with that. Where I was going with that is at the end, just to give you some idea why you would want to hold PTDC versus Pulse, for one example, is that at the end of August last year, August 26th, PTDC finally hit 1-to-1 with Pulse. In other words, it finally cost 1 Pulse, because before that it cost less Pulse. It finally had 1 Pulse to get 1 PTDC. We're now at 17. So effectively, literally, if a person had flipped all of their Pulse into PTDC on August 26th last year, they would be 17x up on their Pulse. And the same goes for all the assets that we're bonded with. Okay. And it's not going to, you would have to do your own research. I will show you a little bit on the slides toward the end of this presentation, but do your own research, like ink, for example. How much has PTDC moved up against ink in the past year? Well, effectively, if a person had moved their ink into PTGC, depending on the time frame, they would be up on their ink. So by holding PTDC and UFO, for that matter, you're going to hold these other assets. It's beautiful, guys. So it's like an easy button. You come over to PulseChain, you're like, where do I start? I don't know anybody over here. I don't know any assets over here. Well, just go to pulsetgc.com, buy you, and I'll walk you through how to buy them and all that. You get a PulseX, swap your Pulse WPLS for PTDC, UFO, start there. And as soon as they hit your wallet, you start earning reflections immediately. So you're immediately earning passive income on PulseChain as soon as you hold these tokens. You start there, and then you kind of go, okay, I got my entry on the PulseChain today. Woohoo! And then you come back the next day and like, okay, I'm gonna go listen to some streams. I'm gonna sub to some YouTubers on PulseChain to learn about the chain and what else is on here that I can speculate on. I don't know that you actually should speculate on anything else. I'll just be honest. Well, maybe some of the tickers that we are bonded with, we do need people to hold those tickers, run them up, right? The Hex, Pulse, PulseX, Inc. I digress. Yes, 18x, JP. All right, let's look into ptdc.com. I'm going to type it into the chat. ptgc.com. Not looking. I'm sorry. We're going to look at secretobank.com. And here on secretobank.com, you can see all of the pairs. Let's show this. So what you do in order to see the pairs for PTDC or UFO is you select the default address, PTDC. Well, first you select volume, okay. Volume, then PTDC, and then check volume, okay. And we've already done that. So here are all the pairs: WPLS, PulseX, Hex, DAI, Inc, Tropo, most. And where is the biggest pair? Let's sort by liquidity. PTDC, UFO, and PTDC have the biggest pair. $3 million right now. $2 million practically with PLS. So that means when PLS does a 10x, that LP will be $20 million. Sweet. Volume today, let's see, that's 160. That was yesterday, I believe, or the day before. 160,000. Let's get a refresh on that. Let's see what the volume is right now. 153,000. So we're still doing good. $9.1 million in LP total. Then you can also look at UFO. Select UFO, check volume. Then you can sort again by liquidity pairs. You can also sort by volume. Okay, 1.8 million, whatever in LP with WPLS. Sort by volume. 9, yeah, that's some good volume. What do we got today? 45,000. Okay, it's not that great. I'm not being bearish. Guys, I'm just the guy that's going to be like, I'm just going to tell it like it is. Like, yeah, I get excited because it's genuine. And I will also be a little bit balanced and bearish. Yeah, the UFO volume's not great today. But I'm pretty sure it was UFO that I saw as high as 2 million. Matter of fact, if you scroll down, you can see a nice, it doesn't go back far enough. We have had 206,000 just within the past couple weeks. But yeah, one of these two assets, PTDC or UFO, saw like $2.3 million in volume in a 24-hour period. And doesn't sound like much. And why am I excited about that? Because it was at a time the chain was doing nothing. Okay, the chain has done nothing. What if PulseChain ends up doing the volume that Ethereum does? Is that a 50 or 100x more volume? I'm not sure. But let's say that is a 50. Let's say it's 25x. So that'd be $100 million in volume for UFO. That would be some volume. Okay, I'm not speculating that they're going there. That's crazy volume. We're gonna look at some calculators toward the end of this. They don't even go that high. I think it stops at 50 million. All right, guys. We talked about that. I have a little cheat sheet over here that keeps me on task. All right, let's talk about what these tokens are. What's the differences between them? And here we go. PTDC and UFO. PTDC on the left. These are both fee-based tokens. When you buy, sell, or transfer, notice transfer, buy them from a wallet you want to keep them on, you're going to pay a 5%. You're going to pay a fee, 5% for PTDC. Its LP is mostly burnt. It has been around for 22 months. I got to update this slide, maybe 23 by now. It's a lot of tokens have been burned. Okay. There are over 15,000 wallets, and a bunch of wallets hold $1,000 or more. UFO, 6% fee. Its LP is user provided. It doesn't have any burned LP. It's been around for probably 16 months now. 8% is burned. It has a bunch of wallets that hold $1,000 or more. Next slide. Let's talk about the fees. Let's break that 5% and that 6% down into what happens to those fees. With PTDC, 2% goes to the DAO. So this is just so you know, this is a fee-based token. It's like, you can look at it like a community fee or an ecosystem fee, helping the ecosystem, however you want to look at it. But on every buy, sell, and transfer, there is a fee that is incurred. You can't get around it, and it's only 5%. It's only 6%. Okay, it's like we're here for we are here in crypto for what? Gains in X's. 5%? Nothing. Good day, Onya Hazia Prosper. To see you. I think it's your first time in my chat. Well, I'm happy that you're here. So let's get this back up here. How are these? Where do these fees go? Well, PTDC, 2% to the DAO, 1% goes to holders. So if you're holding the tokens, you're making a part of that 1%. If you were like a whale, a 1% holder of the supply, you would make 1% of that 1%. Okay, and so on. 1% goes to stakers. 0.5% burns tokens. They sent to the contract sends 0.5% of PTDC with every transaction to the dead wallet, the 0.0000369 address. 0.5% adds LP with PLS automatically with every single transaction, guys. This happens with every transaction. UFO, 3% goes to LP providers, 1% to holders, 1% burns UFO, and 1% burns PTDC. Now, I want to highlight that with UFO, the holders are making better APY by about 5 times. The tokens the reason for that is the tokens that are in LP don't earn reflections. Only the tokens that are in people's wallets earn reflections. Oh, and by the way, there are no founder allocations with either of these tokens. The tokens that are in the dead wallet don't earn reflections. The tokens that are in LP, burned LP, they do not earn reflections or staking rewards or none of that. So it all comes to you and I, the holders, the stakers, the LP providers. Right now, we're going to talk about AMM Bots. Okay, I'm going to pop this slide up, but I have not mastered explaining this slide. So you guys, I'm trusting that you guys are intelligent enough to see the difference and explain this slide to yourself. Okay, basically, and it was built by a buddy of mine. So that's one reason I can't explain it, but I'm going to explain how I understand the AMM bots. Okay, you just saw all of those LP pairs in the index. Remember the circle with the PTDC and UFO in the middle? Okay, those are all LP pairs. PTDC and UFO are, it's like a very good sized web of LP, different pairs. Okay, whenever one of those pairs goes out of alignment, and it could be the hex PTDC pair, for example, or the hex UFO pair. Somebody makes a transaction in hex, and it makes that LP out of alignment. So what happens is the AMM bots have to go in and make sure all the LPs are in alignment. So they have to buy and sell through LPs to make that happen. And when they do that, they're paying the fee. Now they may only need to adjust an LP by $5 or sometimes $500, dollars. But when they're doing that, they're paying the fee. And where does that fee go? But to the holders, the stakers, is burning tokens, adding LP, all that good stuff is happening from the AMM bots balancing pairs. And people can be transacting, way over here, and it's affecting our ecosystem because of the liquidity bonding between way over there and here. And then the AMM bot's like, I got to fix this because it's my job. And they never have to take a break. They never get call in sick. We don't got to pay unemployment tax on them because they never go unemployed. And they do this 24/7, 365 days a year, balancing these pairs, rewarding holders and stakers and reducing token supply. All that stuff. It's genius. It's alien tech. It is literally one of the alien techs that is built into this ecosystem with the AMM bots working. It solved the riddle. It solved the problem of, and this is the first time this has happened. There are a lot of copycats after PTDC, but PTDC was the first to solve the problem of how do I increase demand? Decreasing tokens, fixing the supply issue, pretty easy. Just make it deflationary. Increasing demand, very difficult. Do I send out mailers? Do I have everybody onboard someone, a friend or a relative? That's all good. But how can I mechanize? How can I mechanize demand? We did it. Not me. The Greys. The Greys did it. You got to hand it to them. Incredible technology that is being copycatted. Very flattering. Very, very flattering. Okay, I want to highlight something that you guys need to understand. After I take a sip of water. And if you guys would mind telling me if my audio is wrecked for any reason, just let me know. When the price of PTDC goes up, as it is going up, you're going to earn. Let's say you hold X number of PTDC in your wallet, and for X volume, like let's say for a given number of volume, like $1 million a day, you earn $1. You're like, right? Yeah, pretty much. Won't even buy a coffee nowadays. At $1 million in volume, your bag earns $1. As price goes up, you're still going to earn $1 worth of tokens, but you're going to earn fewer tokens. If price comes down, you're still going to earn $1 at $1 million in volume, but you're going to earn more tokens. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So the time to stack tokens is obviously when price goes down, and you have no control over it except for holding. The more tokens you hold, the more you're going to stack. And the time to gain on those gain value on those tokens that you've already earned is when price goes up. Good afternoon, David. I love the bananas. You guys are so funny with the banana stuff. And you're like, well, you're so funny with this silly name. I know. Crazy stuff. When I picked my name, I didn't want it to have crypto anything in it. And so here I am, the one and only Prairie Banana. Sorry, the Prairie Banana. Right. This next slide is going to highlight a couple different. Wait a second. I'm looking at my cheat sheet. I got off track here. Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on. This slide is going to highlight one of the alien techs. PTDC and UFO have their own. I'm going to show you a slide that highlights their alien tech and a superpower that each of them has. Okay. But right now, we're going to look at the alien tech that PTDC has. Because in addition to the AMM bots, that's alien tech. This is just my terminology for it that I picked up along the way. But this other one Again, check it out. Okay, we effectively have Sal. You are highlighting. You are echoing a conversation we had just a little bit ago that UFO will run harder than PTDC. There's a lot of people that think that too, and I'm probably one of them. I say with a little hesitation because I've seen UFO run last fall. It ran hard, and I think it outran PTDC. I'm not certain of that. I'd have to go look, but yeah, I've got the strong hunchies that UFO can run harder than PTDC, and I'm not the only person that thinks that might be the case. So you have a system where there's a fee in PTDC. The fee gets distributed. How the fee gets distributed can be looked at a couple different ways. And one way is that this fee is going into the system, and that's the green. And it can also be extracted from the system because 2% is going to the holders. So you have 3% going into the system, 2% that can come out of the system, and that's a net positive. Do you see that? So of every single transaction, there is more that will remain in the system than could be extracted from the system. That's alien tech. Conspiracy crypto. Good to see you, Mr. Conspiracy crypto. Yeah, I was just mentioning some conspiracy stuff earlier. Just that I am a conspiracy kind of guy. Just kind of like that stuff. Yeah. All right. That is alien tech. Now, we're going to talk about what separates PTDC from other fee-based tokens or other tokens at all is a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. And the DAO is comprised of anybody that has staked tokens. If you have staked PTDC, you're in the DAO. You can vote on proposals. If you're a top 100 staker, in other words, you got a big old bag, like that's almost unattainable for anyone right now. I wonder how many tokens you got to have in order to be the DAO, to be in the DAO. There's a way to do this, guys. Let's take a little field trip and go to the DApp. We're going to be there anyhow in just a couple minutes. It's a conspiracy super cycle. You ain't kidding, man. There's all kind of stuff going on. Let's look at the DAO. We're going to select DAO. I want to see if you click, just connect your wallet and click on make a proposal. You can see the top 100 stakers. Okay. And then you can see, what the minimum is that you'd need to hold to be in the top 100 stakers. Last I checked, it was, I think you had to have about, I don't know, like 200,000 or 300,000. Hey, William Dugan, we're just waiting for my computer to pull up, so we'll highlight you there. T-minus a few weeks before liftoff. Strap in, friends. T-minus a few weeks. Were you in the military? We used to do that stuff in the Navy when I was in the Navy. Okay, I'm gonna refresh that screen and then pull it up when it's ready. Probably taking a long time because I'm streaming. All right, the DAO. And we're talking about like what separates PTDC from other assets. It's the DAO. And if you're a staker, you can vote. If you're a top 100 staker, you can submit proposals. Proposals got to pass by 65%. Don't submit, if you're a top 100, don't submit silly proposals because they'll just tie up PLS for a week. It's a mess. So don't ever do that. Are we still pulling? What is going on here? I should probably close one of my browser tabs. So what really, the DAO is what really, in my opinion, separates PTDC from other assets. And how does it do that? Why does the DAO separate it? Because, is my audio messing up, guys? I think I'm gonna have to close this tab because I'm playing music and doing all this stuff, and it probably shouldn't be. page is unresponsive. Let's just wait. And hopefully it'll pull it up. The DAO, okay, let's cut to the chase, allows PTDC to be like a ship on the sea, not a train on the track. What can a ship do? Circumnavigate. It can go around obstacles if it sees them. A train cannot. It has got to crash through. So the DAO allows PTDC to pivot with market changes. It can pivot and jump on opportunities. You know, the DAO gets 2%. It effectively gets 40% of the fees that are transacted. And what does it do with it? It's always going to either buy and burn tokens, or it's going to add LP. It might do some marketing campaigns, something like that. But the DAO is always going to do something that's beneficial to the tokens, because the top 100 stakers, they want to fill their bags, increase their bags, just like anybody else, just like any other holder. Okay. And this thing is still taking forever. I bet my audio is wrecked right now. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, it is time to go to the DApp. And my site is not working. Let me just get it pulled up, because now is the point where we go to the DApp anyhow. Anyway, it's not going real well. We might have to skip. We might have to like maybe even come back to it. So I can just highlight this. Just give me a second, guys. I'm going to highlight something here, because I think, give me a second. Staking. Okay, good. We're able to go to the DApp. I thought we were going to have to like go get ahead of ourselves and then come back, but we're on track. We are on track. I'm going to get my proper wallet connected. Okay. Okay, boys and girls. Ooh, I can undo that, what I did in my notes. Yeah, man. All right. By the way, we're going to the DApp here in a second. When you stake PTDC, your wallets are going to be in your tokens are going to be in your wallet. So just know that. And then if you ever decide, hey, I'm going to transfer tokens, I'm going to take some profit, I'm going to transfer them, you might need to unstake them. You'll see them in your wallet. It's a layer of theft protection, by the way. And you'll see them in your wallet, and you'll just need to unstake them, and then you can do what you want with them. So we get that question all the time. Like probably I'd say at least once a week, somebody's like, hey, I'm trying to sell. And we're like, you're staked. You're like, no, I'm not. I can see my wallet. I'm like, you're staked. Go to the DApp, confirm it. Like, oh yeah, you were right. Yeah. So we believe in self-custody. Same goes for your LP tokens in UFO. You keep custody of them. All right, let's go to the DApp, guys. 3 things. There are 3 things that you can do with your PTDC when you hold it. You can just hold it. You can stake it, and you can lock it. We're going to walk through all of that here on the DApp. So it's PulseTGC.com. This is where you go. PulseTGC.com. You connect your wallet. You can connect your wallet to this DApp. I've done it a bunch of times. It's not the only DApp. Look into PTDC.com has a DApp. Into pTGC.com. That has a DApp. I already typed that up there. You can connect to that one. I was just using it this morning, testing it. It works fine. And there's another site that's being developed right now, and it'll replace the main site, or it'll be in addition to the main site, something like that. But it's under development. I'm going to pour myself some water. So 3 things you can do. I already explained it, and we're going to show the screen and show you what you can do with your tokens when you hold them. And we're going to go through this and just kind of go by the assumption that you already hold these tokens, and you're thinking about taking the next step. Okay. So 1 second. PulseTGC.com, click on the staking tab, and that'll bring you right here. Okay, click on the staking tab. Then scroll down. And if you're holding PTDC, it's going to show you how much right here. If you want to stake it, select stake. And then however much. You can do half, you can do 100, you can do 5, whatever you want to stake. Put that number in, sign it in your wallet, and you will have staked PTDC. This wallet has 1 million. An even million because it's an experiment that I'm doing that we get data from this wallet. Okay, you're now staked, and you are going to earn staking rewards. This wallet has earned that many tokens for staking. If I want to claim, okay, by the way, did you notice that there's no time frame for staking? You don't need to select the date. You can have 1 stake per wallet. You can claim your rewards at any time by selecting claim and just sign it in your wallet. Right now, they're in the contract. These tokens are in the contract. They're not earning me any reflections. I want them to earn reflections. So about once a week, any more than that is like weed whacking poison ivy in a bathing suit. You're really just getting yourself all messed up. Claim your tokens. When you claim them, they'll go into your wallet and begin earning reflections immediately. Now, if you want to end your stake, in other words, you want to access this 1 million PTDC, then you will withdraw. Bear in mind that you will pay a 1% fee that goes to all the other stakers when you do that, and that's on your principal. You're going to pay 1% of your principal to withdraw, but you can withdraw however many tokens you want. You can. I did it this morning on 1. I did an experiment. I don't have any staked. It's all locked. It needs to be unlocked before it can be unstaked. So 1% that goes to all the other stakers. The ROI time on that is about, I want to say it's about 100 days. It all depends on volume and price appreciation of the tokens. The third thing that you can do with your PTDC is you can lock it. If you want to lock tokens, they need to be staked first. Got to stake them, then you can lock them. Now, let's say you staked 1 million tokens. And then you want to lock them. Well, my advice is that you don't lock one big bag for a big old long period of time. You can. But what I have done and what I recommend is that because locking is an enormous commitment. Why? Because if you unlock early, you're going to pay 30% of your principal, which goes to all the other lockers, because it's a huge commitment. I recommend that you take some time and think about it. Study the ecosystem like you are right now. Talk to your spouse. Talk to some guys. Hey, man, if should I lock these tokens? It's a great way to delay your gratification and keep the tokens away from, out of your reach, if you will, because the penalty it's a big deal. But you just want to proceed deliberately, in my opinion. Because you can do one stake per wallet, but multiple locks. Okay. So because you can have multiple locks per wallet, why not break that 1 million up into smaller locks? Like cut it in half, make 2 locks or make 5 or 10. That way, if you do decide to emergency end lock early, then you can unlock part of your entire bag, not the whole thing. That way you're paying less penalty. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. 252 eyeballs in here. That's a good thing. All right. Ask any questions, guys. If you got questions, that's what we're here for. Drop them in the chat. I love questions. But if you're just following along, that's fine too. Multiple locks, same thing. You can have multiple locks per wallet. Same thing, same principle applies with your yield. It's going to sit there in the contract until you claim it. You can claim it at any time. When you claim it, it goes to your wallet and it will immediately begin earning reflections. What a lot of people have done in the Grace currencies with their locking is they will go out, they'll build a ladder, right? You can go anywhere from, I'm going to show you a scale here in a minute. Let's just go ahead and do that. The minimum is 90 days and the maximum is 10 years. If you lock one day into the next higher tier, you will earn from that tier. So if you wanted to get the 100%, be in the top tier, well, lock for 9 years and and one day, perhaps add a few days, make it 9 years, 367 days. No, 365, 300, that'd be 372 days. Okay. And then you're in the 10-year tier. 90 days, the minimum. Okay, 90-day lock, for example, you see that 55%, that's how much of the rewards that you keep. So of the rewards that are sitting in the wallet right here, you're going to keep, if this is a 10-year lock, but if it were a 90-day lock, when I claimed, I would keep 55% of those tokens. The 45% gets sent to the dead address. So the 90-day locks are the best locks for reducing the token supply, which is really wonderful. You're actually helping yourself and everybody in the ecosystem with any lock less than 10 years. But the 10-year locks are a big commitment. Those people are going to be there for a long time, at least we presume. We do see unlocks every now and again. We do see some big ones like once in a blue moon, maybe more often than once in a blue moon. But we do see locks like we will go maybe a week without seeing any unlocks. But especially if there's other tokens launching and that sort of thing, there's a lot of excitement on the network and that kind of thing. People unlock their tokens to go chase other stuff. And when they do, they pay all the other lockers. Oh, what else? So you can do a ladder like I did. I built annual ladders in my wallets. So I have tokens that are going to mature and become available liquid at the end of every year, at the transition of the year for the next 9-10 years. I have some 10-year locks. I have 90-day locks that are mature, and I'm just letting them sit. There's no harm, no foul in letting your locks just sit there and collect rewards. Again, I collect my rewards it's actually less than once a week. But any more than that, and you're just wasting time, wasting gas, because we believe in the power of compound interest. But if you get a big wave of yield, then get it working for you. Get it, claim it, get it out of that contract and into your wallet so it starts earning reflections. But if it's low volume, low rewards, then once a week's enough. I think that's about it for locking. Let me check my notes here. Give me a second. There are some differences between locking and staking that we're going to talk about, because there are some big differences. Big differences. Yeah, I think we covered it. All right, it's time to talk about the differences between holding and staking and locking rewards. And we're probably at least halfway done with this presentation, guys. By the way, from here, we're going to get into UFO, and then we're going to do moon math. And then I've got some slides we'll run through, and then we'll call it a day. Appreciate you guys being here. Welcome to the Gray's Currencies. If you just discovered us, let me say something. You are at the bottom. We are at the bottom of this. Like, you are effectively and figuratively early. Yes, there were some people that were day one, month one, all that. Hey, Brown Conservative, Jerry, tell me if I'm wrong, and I'm okay being wrong. And sure, those people did very well. They're doing very well. But with PulseChain being at the bottom, we are early. If you're dollar cost averaging, cool, man. If you're dollar cost averaging into this asset, good job. You're buying the bottom. Figuratively, like my teenage daughter, figuratively and literally. Crazy girl. We're at the bottom, guys. So if you think you missed it, I disagree. Don't be that guy that's like, he disses Bitcoin at $10 because it's already $10. You know what I'm saying? Crypto get crazy. It get crazy. You love the moon math? Well, we're coming up on it. We are coming up on it. Appreciate you guys being here. 260 people in here. I'm impressed. I'm really, we're pumping, we're bumping. We pulled back. Like I said, I was up at midnight and it was like, oh yeah, man. And then it was like by 6 a.m. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's crypto. You got to be a man and put your emotions aside. Sometimes it's difficult. I think that's it, guys. Let's talk. Oh, differences. Okay. You got two things. You got reflections. Can I do this? Because I want to go left or right. It looks corny. Reflections and staking rewards and lock-in rewards. You got 3 different ways you can earn. Your reflections, I'm not going to do that again. Let's do it this way. Your reflections are easy. You just hold the tokens, okay? And you're going to earn a certain amount of APY. And then if you stake, you're going to earn additional from that 1% of the fee. So you can hold and earn reflections and then staking rewards, but then you can lock. There's a big difference between the two. Okay. The one difference is this function, the reward function, is based on users buying, selling, and transferring, and AMM bots buying and selling. This is all based on users early ending their locks. Okay, these rewards here are dependent on that. But there's another one. Your holding and staking rewards are based on the price of the tokens today. So $1,000 transaction today is going to buy a certain number of tokens and distribute them to all the holders. $1,000 transaction when price goes up is going to distribute fewer tokens. Okay, so it's based on the price of the tokens today. Your reflections and your staking rewards. You probably have to go buy more after moon math. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, conspiracy crypto. True. Now the lock-in rewards are different. They're not based on value of the tokens. Okay, they're based on tokens that have already been purchased off the market. And then somebody early end locks and the contract's like, okay, conspiracy crypto's got a certain part of this locking pool. Let's say you have a 1% portion of that locking pool and somebody just unlocks 1 billion tokens and they nuke 300 million. Well, conspiracy crypto would get 30 million tokens. Contract doesn't care what the value of those tokens are. It's going to distribute the tokens. Okay. As price goes up, 2 things are going to happen. As price goes up, we speculate. This is all basic. Who can really effectively determine what users are going to do? We can guess that as price goes up, people are going to early unlock. I might even do a little bit of that. Who knows? Price goes up, people early unlock. Well, obviously price went up, so the tokens that they're forfeiting are worth more, and we are going to receive those tokens as lockers. So the big differences are holding rewards and staking rewards are based on the price of the asset today. Locking rewards are based on token quantity. And then this is more mechanical, happens every day. This doesn't happen every day. It happens every once in a while, more than every once in a while. We actually unlock, well, last year we unlocked an average of 395 million tokens in any given 30-day period last year. And we're hoping that continues. But like the last time I checked, well, in the month of June, when I got all the data for the month of June, there was only 50 million unlocked. Okay, now we're going to talk about UFO. What is UFO? We already talked about the fee and how it's distributed. Let's talk about some differences of UFO. You can hold the token and earn reflections without having to share them with yield farmers. So like I said a little while ago, you can hold these tokens and the people that are LPing their tokens are not earning reflections. So the holders are earning an inordinate amount of yield, like 5 times more APY versus those that are LPing their tokens. The liquidity providers, the LPers, are strongly incentivized to stay in the pools because if they pull out and the price drops, others will rush in to scoop up the discounted supply and they will get UFO shares, which is a superpower, which we're going to talk about. It's also, UFO also has 50% more liquidity paired with RH tickers, and it has more liquidity, period. So those are some differences of UFO. Let's go ahead and let's see. Hold on. I got to look at, oh yeah, we got to go to the DApp. So hold on, guys, and we'll get the DApp pulled up. It's the same site, same Telegram, same founder, PulseTGC.com. And this is going to go a lot faster, this part of the DApp, because UFO is just so simple. You're going to select UFO token right there. Now, if you wanted to add liquidity, you select here. If you already have liquidity, you want to see it, you select this button. So we're going to assume you want to add liquidity, select UFO liquidity pools. And what a lot of us have done, guys, is we'll LP part of our UFO and keep the rest liquid. Okay, it's kind of a safe way to do it. I went really heavy in LPing, though, just to be clear. But now I'm interested in holding, just to be honest. So here are all of the assets that you can pair with your UFO. I don't recommend pairing UFO and PTDC because you're going to pay the fee for both of those going into an LP and coming out. The fee for UFO on all of the other assets pairs is whitelisted going in. There will be a fee for this one coming out. That's how I understand it. It was something that was not that we couldn't even work around when developing the code. So you can LP Hex, eHex, Inc, PulseX, Pulse, and PDI. The way you do that is you will go to Manage Pool right here. Select Add Liquidity, not Remove. That you remove when you already have liquidity. Select Add Liquidity. Select however much UFO you want to LP, and you got to have an equal share of the paired asset. Select Add New Liquidity. Of course, your wallet is connected at this time, and then you will transact in your wallet, and then you will have an LP. Now, once you're done with that, UFO is a monster. People just don't know it yet. That's right, man. Now you will go to UFO token, select UFO PLP rewards, and scroll down, and you're going to see the LP that we just created, UFO PLS. All right, now let's talk about this whole area right here. This wallet has liquid UFO in it, so it's earning reflections in UFO. And it has one LP, and it's earning PLS for LPing. You can, if you have multiple LPs, you can claim all of them by clicking this button. There is a superpower that I mentioned with UFO, and that is the share rate. This wallet has 1 million UFO shares. And we got to spend a little bit of time on this one because it's important. It's an important superpower for you to understand. If you hold UFO and you're thinking about LP and some of it, you got to understand UFO shares. So here it is. UFO shares are a representation of how much UFO you put into the pool, so that regardless of any impermanent loss that you incur, and you will incur impermanent loss, you will lose, probably. The way things are looking, you're going to lose a lot of UFO. That's one reason a lot of us hold UFO liquid also. You're going to lose UFO, but you will not lose any UFO shares. Your UFO shares determine how much yield you get, and they do not change. So the more UFO that you put into a pool, the more UFO shares you will have. We suspect that UFO shares are going to become very valuable into the future. And so again, being at the bottom of PulseChain, we are at the bottom, okay? We're at the bottom. You're early. We're all early. Now is a great time to get a position in the UFO shares. So you get yourself some UFO. Let's say you buy 100 million UFO today. I don't know what that costs. 100 million UFO and you LP half of it, then you'll have a UFO share rate of 50 million. 50 million UFO share rate, and however much of the pool that garners for you, that's how much PLS you will earn. And as people exit the pool, you know, if you're thinking long term, you're going to make it, in my opinion. But as people exit the pool and they sell the price down, and other people coming in, the bottom line is UFO shares are going to become very viable, and I have proven that actually. Versus even this time last year, the price has gone up on these things. But don't let that deter you. We're early in everything on PulseChain. A dolphin position in UFO is very cheap. Yes. I did look at that. We're going to look at that a little bit more. But yeah, I just updated my numbers on that. I'm going to say it's like $300, $1,300, something like that for a dolphin position in UFO. Give me a second, guys. All right. Okay, I think we're ready. Ooh. All right, this is the slide I was referring to about the alien tech and such. Check this out. PTDC on the left, UFO on the right. PTDC has 2 alien techs, 1 superpower. UFO has 1 alien tech and 2 superpowers. That's just how we highlight some of the special features of these 2 tokens. PTDC's alien tech, well, it's the AMM Bots. And it's more going into the system than can be extracted of the fee. Its superpower is the locking, which we just finished talking about, and how it can be highly lucrative. We're going to highlight that with a calculator in just a little bit. UFO, its alien tech, obviously, it's the AMM Bots, same technology there. Its superpower, well, its thickest LP is with PTDC, the mothership token. But it has another superpower, and that is the share rates. Notice that each token has a superpower that is user-centric. What that means is that you, as a user, can leverage these superpowers to make money. Okay? Passive income. Money. Okay. I haven't done this in a while. Let's go to the DApp and look at some of the Grays gear. I get my phone ready. You guys have seen this before. Okay. I got to show you how to do this. I'm going to highlight some Grays gear. Okay. We're going to take a little field trip and select Grays gear. Go buy some merch, guys. I saw a dude in our chat yesterday. Moneybags 73, I think is him. And he had an alien. He had like a t-shirt. Must have been this one. He had the t-shirt on. You can get hats, t-shirts, mugs, playing cards, and let's see, stickers. Where are the stickers? Stickers. I don't have the new stickers. I wish that I did. But what I do have that I really like is the phone case. Everybody packs a phone with them around, right? Don't they? And the phone case is cool, guys. And that's painted on there somehow, or actually like in the plastic. And I've had this since March, April, May, June. Let's say 5 months. It hasn't scratched. I love it, man. You know, you turn your phone over so it doesn't distract you and stuff. And then it's like, yeah, man. The Grays Currencies, UFO. It's my squeeze, you know. So there you go. Get you some merch. Why not? Have some fun, man. Get you a t-shirt. I believe that it is actually going to onboard people, you know, just wearing a hat or a t-shirt? No, I don't believe that. It might cause a conversation, but by and large, no. I think it's just fun. That's where I'm at on that merch stuff. There you go, guys. Let's look at some stats. Where you're going to do that is look into ptdc.com dashboard. Get it pulled up here for you guys. Here's the dashboard. You can buy PTDC with the sniper bot right there. This is developed by Crypto Kong, my buddy, but I am hosting the site now. In case you guys were wondering what was going on with all that convoluted stuff going on last week and the week before. Well, I'm hosting the site now, and Kong is my helper. He helps with it. Like, he's an indispensable help. So PTDC, if you go to the dashboard, by the way, the dashboard is free and the DApp is free. I just used the DApp a little bit ago. I will need to log in when we do the calculators, but let's just run through the dashboard real quick, because this is really cool. There's some cool stuff here, guys. I'm just saying. You can look at how many tokens have been burning. Look, we have burned just in the last 15 minutes. Well, let's go to the hour. 33,000 tokens burned in the last hour. Since we've been streaming, we burned over 33 million tokens. And I'm going to tell you guys something really profound. Let's take just one token, for example. We just burned 33,000. Sorry. I wish it was 33 million. Every single token that gets sent to the dead address will never earn a reflection or a staking reward ever again. Instead, those will come to the holders and stakers, every single one. So the more we send, the better off we will be. It's juicy. It's amazing. Give me a second, guys. Yeah. Hold on. I got to make some notes. Sometimes I make notes while I'm streaming, just so I can do better the next time. And let me go back to where I was. Okay, stats. That's burned tokens. Now you come down here, and there are other metrics. Like there's the price, the volume, 24-hour volume, the liquidity. This is all good stuff, guys. We've got it going on over here in the grays. 18x to a penny, 1800x to $1. Wow. Average daily volume. We're up 80% over the previous 7-day period. APY metrics are unavailable right now. Here's the fee allocation, and that is the 5% fee. $7,600 was collected in the last 24 hours. Where did it go? Well, we burned PTDC. We added to liquidity. $3,000 was sent to the DAO. And then what you can do, guys, look, you can select 180 days. How much was collected in the last? Where did that get to? Well, 3 million. And where did it go? Right to these places right here. And then watch this. You can, let's see if we can do this. You can look, watch this. Watch this, guys. I'm going to go ahead and log in. Check this out. What you can do is show the chart. There's the APY. If you got to log in to see the APY, and it's not very excited, I'll be honest, but we're hoping that it improves. Let's look at show volume overlay. So you're looking at what are we looking at here? Price. We're looking at price versus volume. Oh, here we go. The price is in the red and the volume is in the green. Notice how when volume increases, price increases. And we've seen that. I have records to back this up, that when volume increases, price increases. I mean, look, it's just the correlation it's there. I mean, look at this back here. And it's almost like the price lagged volume. Like when, not in every case, but when volume increased, at least in this instance, price lagged right afterwards. So let's go down to UFO. We're burning tokens at the last hour. We haven't burnt any UFO tokens because the volume is really low. And you know, the contract's not going to trigger on every transaction. It's going to wait until gas fees are low enough for it to trigger, and then all that information, that's going to distribute the tokens, and then grabs the information off the blockchain. But here's the price, volume, liquidity. We're 381x away from a penny. Here's the APY. And then we can do the same chart here. Here's where the fees were distributed, $1,000 to UFO LP providers. And let's see, where is that goes to, oh, reward holders, $400. And it doesn't make sense that, you know, so there must be a lot of tokens in LP because, like I said, people that are holding the tokens are earning 5 times more APY. So let's look at the chart for UFO. I haven't done this in a while. We're excuse me, we're doing some stuff today that we don't normally do. But there we go. Price is in the red. I'm just looking at it, looking and thinking. Interesting. Oh, look at this. Just a little bump in volume and the price increase. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool stuff. Who would disagree? All right. Now that we got through the boring stuff. Was that boring? I don't think that was boring. I shouldn't say that. Let's do some moon math. All right. So same, let me just pop this back up. Same site. Just select moon math. We'd like this site to be for everybody to have access to it. Let me just put it that way. All right. Somebody tell me, what do you think PulseChain can do this cycle? I'm going to remove this for a second. Okay, while I explain the X multiplier, somebody tell me what you think PulseChain can do this cycle. Can it do 10x, 50, 100, 500, 1,000? What can PulseChain do this cycle? What do you think it's going to do this cycle? Because we're going to put that in the calculator. Okay, PTDC, make sure I'm talking into the mic here. PTDC has moved up against PulseChain 30x in the last year. I looked it up yesterday. It has, there's another way to say it. It has done 30x's over a PulseChain in the last year. So if it does that, and that's with PulseChain going down sideways at best. If it does that again, that would mean, and then let's say PulseChain does 100x and PTDC again does 30x. Well, that would be 30 times 100, which is 3,000x. Yeah, it'd be 3,000x. 3,000x times the price. And that's called the X multiplier. That 30 times 100, that's the X multiplier. And then you would multiply that number by the price. And, you know, today's price, okay? And that would get you your future price if that scenario happened. And this calculator does it for us. And I don't see any numbers in the 30x SAC price. Okay, so that would be 30x SAC price. So that'd be 0.003 times 30 divided by, what's today's price? 4 zeros. I lost my deck screener for a minute. So divided by 4 zeros, what? 3.1. Divided by 3.1 will be specific. 7. Oh, I messed it up. How many X's would that be? 30x from SAC price. 30 times 0.3 that'd be 0.009 divided by 0.40317. This should work. 284x for Pulse. That's what that would be. 30x SAC price. Okay, so we're going to go to the calculator. Look into ptdc.com. We're going to select PTDC Pulse. Let's say that we can do that. PTDC again does 30x above against the layer 1, and the layer 1 does 284x's. 284x. That's going to be 284 times 30 times today's price. What's that going to be, like a 40 or 50 cent PTDC? Let's find out. Calculate. No, it ain't. PTDC Pulse. 284X. 30. Did we get that right, conspiracy? 0.00. Did we get that right? 30x point. Okay, I'm going to redo this because I want to make sure I'm not giving bad information. 0.0003 times 30 is 0.009 divided by today's price, which is 0.00317. That's 284x. 284x. And if let's tone it down a little bit. Let's say we only do 15x against the layer 1, while the layer 1 does 284x. That would be 4,260x. $2.33 PTDC. I don't know what to say, guys. If you're not holding at least 1 million of these tokens, I just don't know what to say. I don't understand it. I don't understand why some people on PulseChain don't hold these tokens. Just hold 1 million. We've had conversations of this thing going to multiple tens of dollars. If you can't, throw $500 because they're about $550 for 1 million right now. If you can't get just 1 million, I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. That's some big X's. And the same would be true for UFO, except UFO hasn't done the X's against PulseChain like PTDC has. UFO, it hasn't been around as long as PTDC. I think it's done like a 12X or something like that against the L1 in the last year. PTDC gets all the attention. So there you have it, guys. $2 PTDC. Come on. There can be some billionaires out of this ecosystem. Like millionaires easy. Deca, Centa, and then billionaires in this ecosystem. If 30x a SAC price, do you think Richard Hart is going to, he'd be a failure, I think, if he did 30x. I don't think he'd be a failure, but I think that he would think he's a failure if he only did 30x a SAC price. And I'm not being unkind, conspiracy. I'm just saying that's a good conservative, and look at the result we got. Oh, yeah, man. Good night in the morning. Well, there's your moon math. Now let's go look at reflections. That was just price. We can also input. We can input a price. We can we can simulate a buy on PTDC or UFO, and simulate where it would move the price. You can do that with this calculator too. But what we're going to do next is look at reflections. The reflections remember, these are volume and volatility based protocols. PTDC and UFO love volatility. They eat it for lunch. The more volume, the more you and I get paid. The more gets sent to LP, the more tokens get burned. So with this calculator, we can simulate that. So we're going to the reflections section. Let's do UFO this time. Okay, I'm not going to do PTDC on this one. Let's put a certain amount. Let's do that 100 million UFO. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we got 100 million there? Yes. Okay, you're holding 100 million UFO. We're going to be in experimental mode for this. Oh, we do have 100 million. Let's just do it for fun. $100 million in volume on the UFO, in the UFO ecosystem, and you're holding 100 million tokens. Hey, it's a matchy. Well, your APY would be a juicy 1,473%. You would be earning 4 million tokens per day. $107. $107. How much can you pick up 100 million UFO for? Let's go find out. 100 $2,600. $2,600 to earn $107 every day, but you're gonna make it all back. I mean, obviously, in just a few short days. Well, you know, you're gonna earn it back. Monthly yield, $3,000. Yeah, you get it back in a month. $3,000 in a month. But we got to hit that volume. You know, that is obviously it's to the stars. $50 million of volume would be half of that. So there you have it, guys. That's your reflection rewards. There's really no way. Is there no way? That's that's reflections. The staking rewards could be built into this, I think, but we don't have it there. The calculator for the locking rewards is right here. Locking calculator. Remember I said we unlocked 395 million tokens in any given 30-day period last year. Well, we're just going to plug that in. Let's say you have 100 million PTDC. And let's say the price does run up to what? $2.43. Let's get crazy, guys. I know some of you might get offended by big numbers, but just take a screenshot. I will not be offended if you screenshot my stuff. Take a screenshot, and then you can put this stuff into a spreadsheet, or you can just do it on a piece of paper. However you want to do it, you can back out your estimates. Okay, and you can tone it down if you want to. But I'm a bit of a moon boy. I get excited, and I'm just gonna go in my channel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. $2.43 PTDC. Whoa! I mean, the sheer fact that we're even talking about this just blows my mind. But we are going to, let's say, okay, I'm going to tell you guys. There's a cool thing in the locking system in that the worst you can do is 55%, because that's the least you're going to take home. That's the 90-day locks. Now, if you're locked 10 years, obviously you're going to take 100%. So if you did a ladder, it's going to be an average of all of that. So and you can put all that in ChatGPT, by the way, and it'll tell you where you're at. Like my bags, I'm a 96.3% guy. Of all the rewards coming into for my bag size, I'm keeping 96.3 because I went really heavy in 10-year locks. So I'm a high A. And that's fun. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna say, well, let's just go with that. Let's go with 90. Thank you, TS Pedro. Let's go with 95%. So this dude has a ladder. He went heavy on 10-year locks, and he's keeping 95% of all the lock-in rewards that he could possibly earn for his bag size. And in this 30 days, there was 395 million PTDC unlocked. It's not going to happen every time, guys, but it did happen on average. That was the monthly average last year. So it changes every month. But let's say we hit the average, and the tokens were now, let's say it's the top of the cycle. This is the last month at the top of the cycle, and we unlocked that. Well, the dude just took home $196,261 in a month in PTDC for locking up his 100 million tokens and taking home 95% of them. Hot dog. Where else are you going to make that kind of gains? I think that the locking in PTDC has been a little bit overlooked. The value of it. I think. You know what I think? I think as price goes up, I think, and as users that aren't locked, as they see what the lockers are earning, I think they're going to be locking up their tokens. And guess what that means? That means more potential unlocks, but it also means they're going to be diluting the pool. But the way I look at it, the more people that lock, the more chances there are that you're going to earn lock-in rewards. I think if we get more participants, there's going to be more rewards. So, but dude, 200 grand in a 30-day period. I mean, anybody can live off of that, multiple places around the world for years on 196,000. So the locking reward, the locking system in PTDC is my It's a superpower, and just blows my mind. Okay, system. All right, now it's time to go through my slides. We're in an hour and a half. We're going to click through these. Just give me 1 second, guys. Got to duck over here and do this. Thank you very much. Glass of water. Get these slides ready. This next slide is related to the UFO shares. Did an experiment. Let's get through these slides, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Let me go. I simulated, it was a thought experiment. I simulated unpairing UFO. Okay, I showed you guys this 1 million UFO shares that I got. Well, I was like, well, what if I unpaired it and then decided I wanted those UFO shares back? Well, at the time, there was 300,000 UFO in that wallet. So because the UFO shares are determined on how much UFO I put into an LP, I would have to buy 700,000 UFO for $17. And I'd also have to have the equivalent of in Pulse. So all in all, I would have to buy $34 worth of assets in order to get that 1 million UFO share back. That's a bummer, but it illustrates the value of UFO shares and the fact, we haven't done nothing. Pulse hasn't, but goes sideways for the last year. And UFO has done pretty well. Hasn't done as well as PTDC. Doesn't mean I'm bearish on it. I love UFO. I'm very optimistic and excited about what it could do in this cycle. But there you have it. UFO shares going to be highly valuable one day, we think. Right now, this slide illustrates how PTDC, UFO, Hex, PulseX, and Inc. have performed against Pulse. Let that sink in. Go to your deck screener and look at this for yourself. Look at the Hex. Look at Hex versus WPLS. Zoom out. And I did this from the second week to the all-time high. Now, this is PTDC outperforming the core assets. So PTDC versus WPLS, which we just saw. PTDC versus PLSX. Look at that pair. And zoom out from the second week, it's up 425x against PulseX. Why would I hold PulseX? Why would I hold Hex or Inc. when PTDC is outperforming them? You got to ask yourself that question. UFO is also outperforming the core assets. I mean, those are not small numbers. The previous ones were bigger, but these here are not small. Again, from the second week to the all-time high. Now, this is an experiment based on daily volume and liquidity. It's an analysis. And basically, let me just make it very simple. Projected daily volume, 100x at 100. Look at that third one down. Projected daily volume, 100x LP increase from 8 million to 800 million daily volume. It would equal a daily volume of $36 million. The annual fee generation would be $657 million. And these next two slides are related to this one. So that $36 million per day turns into a fee machine with $263 million going to the Dow. And then you see it all broken up right there in front of you. With 131,400,000 going to the stakers. Hallelujah. I'm in that bunch. Now, how much would you earn? Well, if you were a whale of that $36 million in daily volume over the course of, I think it said 6 months, you would earn $2,628,000. Yeah, that's some good cheese, man. Now, this slide here illustrates if PTDC and UFO were to work together, burning PTDC, and they each had $10 million in volume on their tokens every day for a year, they could effectively burn $128 million worth of PTDC. Now let's take another little field trip here. Let's see, how do we do this? Do we do it on, I'll show you. This is an opportunity to show you the that calculator anyhow. This one right here. We go to we go to calculator, Moon Math 2.0. We are going to simulate a $128 million buy, and the price impact. It's the number right there. That I'm guessing it would send it to about 70 or 80 cents. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, 47 cents. 868x. That's what a $128 million buy would do to the price. It would send it to 47 cents. All right, let's get back to this slide. And of course, in order to do that, the DAO would have to burn $200,000. It would have to agree. You know, all the proposals would be to burn tokens, and PTDC burns it tokens itself. UFO burns tokens itself. So it would be like a coordinated effort from the DAO, and you'd have to have $10 million in volume. Between last August and this past April, PulseChain volume increased by 3x, but its price dropped 38%. PTDC's volume increased by 8x, and its price by 533%. Market cap comparison. Let me make sure I'm on track here. Hold on, guys. PTDC from May 2024 to June 2025, up 782% in market cap. Then next one down is PulseX, followed by UFO, and then you can guess some of these other tickers. I'm not going to mention them out loud. From July last year, when volume was, look at that chart, look at the bottom of the left column. July last year, the volume was $27,000 per day, and you were earning 45 tokens per day for each 1 million that you held, 45 PTDC. Well, by March, the price had increased by 12.6x, and the volume had 15.7x. So you're effectively, remember I said that we're finding that price and volume are tracking? Well, that is true with this chart, at least this snapshot of, what is it, 3, 6, 9 months. 9 months, guys. And it worked out to be true. So in July, you were earning 45 tokens, but by March, you're earning 46 tokens per million, but they're worth 12.6 times more. So the tokens that you earned back in July are worth 12.6 times more also. And the same is true for UFO to a varying degree, as you can see. In July, $36,000. In March, $370,000 in volume. And then your holding yield, 196 in July, 141 in March. Isn't that interesting? I just think that's stinking cool. Are you thinking of waiting? Why getting in early pays? If you bought 100 million PTDC now, you would earn about 56,565 in daily reflections at $1 million in volume. Well, your reflections compound daily, so that's 5.7 million tokens by year's end. Now, if price goes up 37x, so that's 0.003058 times, 0.011. Well, your day one reflections that were worth $17 on day one, they become worth $647 after that price increase of only, can I say that, only 37x? So your year-end reflections value would be $65,419. Okay, if you went back and applied that price increase to all the tokens that you earned, $65,000 for holding 100 million PTDC. But that's at $1 million in volume, and your price goes up 37x. So then the reason for this slide is to eliminate from our thoughts, I only earned $17 today. Well, sure, you earned $17 today, but 37x that, and then spread it over a whole year. It's not just the $18, $17 times 365. We're talking about exponential compounding. Being early matters in X's and value. Look at this. Let's say you inject $1,000 into this ecosystem and you're getting in at 305 versus waiting until we're at 205. And the token, let's say the token price at the cycle top is 50 cents, where your total X's for being early would be 1,000 versus 100 if you wait for the next 10X. And your value would be $1 million versus waiting, where it would be 100,000. See creature position costs right now. PTDC, a whale would cost $1.55 million. A squid, $1,550. UFO, a whale position, you get a whale position for $241,000. You can get a squid for $240,000. Why not? Why not? Okay. This next slide is special because it represents, in my estimation, where we are in the Grays ecosystem, PTDC and UFO. It represents what they are, what these tokens are, and where we are in this part of the cycle. And I don't believe, I think I'm going to have to remove this slide in due time. PTGC and UFO are well-oiled, finely tuned machines that have never been proven in a full-on bull run. They're on a layer one that's going into its first cycle. Okay. I liken them to a Lamborghini. I liken PTDC and UFO to a finely tuned Lamborghini that's sitting at the stoplight. And the dude's like just revving the engine a little bit. He's anticipating that light to turn green. That's where we're at right now. We might be in first gear, but we're not in drive. We haven't engaged the clutch. That's where these things are. When we have volume on this network, when this network takes off, this is what it's going to look like, boys and girls. We're dropping the clutch. First gear, we're going to smoke the tires. We're going to be down. We're going to be going on down the road. We're going to be up to 150 miles an hour in about 15 seconds, something like that. That's what a Lambo can do. And these machines, PTDC and UFO, in my estimation, this is what they're going to be doing. And I'm onboarding people. I'm actively bringing people into this ecosystem because I believe these are the best assets on PulseChain. Go look at them against some of the I hate to use the term copycat because it's kind of making them look down, however you want to put it. It's kind of condescending, but against some of the copies, look at some of the copies and how they're performing against PulseChain, and then look at PTDC and UFO and see how these tokens are performing against PulseChain. And you'll see that in the vast majority of instances, because I've done the work myself, the comparing, PTDC and UFO are outperforming everybody. Yeah, show me a token that's outperforming PTDC in a long time frame. I ain't talking about a week or a couple months, but show me. There are probably some. There must be. Okay. So my opinion about PTDC, we're almost done. And holding these tokens they are the golden goose of crypto. When you finally have yourself a golden goose, a financial one, you don't want to slaughter it. You want to keep it alive. You might take some feathers from it, but you want to just wrap your life around the eggs if you can. Okay? You're picking up what I'm putting down? Now check this out. Because PTDC and UFO, because the supply is deflationary, and because you're constantly earning rewards, you are effectively inflating, your bag is becoming larger, and it's becoming larger relative to a supply that's reducing. So you're really earning more rewards because your portion of the supply is reducing. So you're actually, if you start off holding 100 million tokens and you hold and from today, let's say you earn $100, 100 tokens or reflections. By next year, because of the reduction in supply and because of your increase in principal, you'll be earning more than 100 tokens per year or per day. Does that make sense? I mean, it's just, if you have a long, and these assets were built for people, they were built to be a financial asset for you to wrap your life around. And they're working out to be just that. So when PTDC and UFO and Liberty swap, and JDub asks, they're working on it. We tweeted about it last week, and we got a bunch of support from the guys in the community. And the word on the street is, and I saw it in there myself, that they're like, yep, we're working on it. And then Mando has been in communication with them. And yeah, they're working on getting this on there, guys. I'm real excited. I love Liberty Swap. I love everything they're doing. I like their attitude, their enthusiasm, and I want to be represented by it. I want to be on there because I want to be associated with good people and good projects. But of course, I want people to have easy access to UFO and PTDC too. It's coming, guys. It's coming. Probably a little difficult just because of the buy sell text. Yeah, and that's the thing that they're working on. Absolutely, NJW. You're correct. All right, guys, if you're excited about PTDC and UFO, I'm inviting you to join the Space Force. Go to secretobank.com, upload your profile picture, download your new one, and then upload it to your Twitter, Telegram, and YouTube. And there are some people that will not do it for strategic reasons. I respect you for that, and there's no issue. I don't even see any gold circles in here. Except for, there's David. He got one. Thomas got one. Okay. That's cool. But, you know, the other guys that ain't got one, no disrespect at all. None coming from me. Because you guys, I know you guys love this token. And you got a reason for not having the gold circle. I believe that. We have 6 public meetings per week. We have this presentation every Wednesday and Sunday. Then Zen will be on Spaces tomorrow at, let's see, what time is it? Tomorrow will be Thursdays at 8 a.m. Pacific. And then we have our next Spaces will be on Saturday, 7 a.m. Pacific. You are welcome, Polygon. It's been a while since I've seen you, man. You're much appreciated as well. I think we are done, guys. Okay. The last thing we're going to end on is, because I got a heart for security. If you aren't doing crypto from a hardware wallet, let me remember this. You need to be doing crypto from a hardware wallet. That's just a code I've got on my wallet. Okay. Do crypto from hardware wallets. Don't do it from soft wallets. Don't transact and do all that stuff from your phone. You'll get wrecked eventually. You put $1,000 in crypto and you wanted to do 1,000x, right? Well, start today with your security posture, thinking it's going to do 1,000x. Don't wait until it's already there, and then wake up one morning and your wallet got drained. Okay, take this very serious. Appreciate you, TS Pedro. We're going to shut it down. Hour and 48 minutes. We're getting better and faster. Appreciate you guys. Okay, one last chance for questions. Do we have any questions? I don't think we had any questions. That's just fine. 362 eyeballs in here. That's a good deal. Liberty Swap. You want to come over to the Grays? Jump into Liberty Swap, and you can buy the tokens with PulseX too. All right, guys, we're going to shut it down. Have a great day. We'll see you around the block, man.